Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. The things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and the medications are hard to pronounce. So please bear with me.
Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready. It says, brief periods of unconsciousness. My question is related to an atypical symptom of unconsciousness. At least according to my neurologist, it is such. Does anyone here have something similar to this symptom? They last 1 to 2 seconds, and I am unable to function the whole time. I feel a kind of buzz in my head as if I were waking up or someone was flicking a light on and off. Sometimes that feeling comes in a series of several in a row. Most often, there are only one. Such a symptom may come only once a day or several times throughout the day. Sometimes my outburst is a precursor to a tonic-clonic seizure. It causes anxiety in me. I have recently had a proper VEEG study where seizures I described were finally recorded, and I can no longer be called a fake patient, and I am no longer being given completely wrong medications. One after the other. Originally, my diagnosis is my teens were generalized. Technology has changed, as have doctors. I haven't received any summary yet, but it is thought to be focal frontal lobe epilepsy, spreading to both sides. I'm still waiting for a 3T MRI in the fall. Despite countless different AED trials, I have never been completely symptom-free. The options are already limited. I'll wait to see if they suggest anything evasive, but can you please let me know, is this only me? No, I had those, but I'm thinking what I was thinking was maybe I was kind of sleepy, because sometimes I get sleepy and I'm just like, oh, was I asleep? And it'd be like a few seconds. And then I'm like, okay, yeah, I need to go to sleep now. Those are what I thought mines were. They aren't like regular throughout the day. They're either throughout the night or when I'm sitting here just editing and I'm bored or some shit like that. But other than that, no. And I believe my food's here. Anybody else go through that? Thank you.
Go
I
through
don't relate to that at all, honestly.
It's sushi.
the blanking, the quick switch, flip on, off, back on kind of thing, or because that whole process, the 3 Tesla MRI, that all sounds pretty standard.
I feel like
for
everybody with epilepsy has had some sort of issue getting doctors to believe them or understand them, because there's such a wide variety of seizures, and not all of them are so obvious, like the tonic-clonics. And
Yeah.
not everybody really knows. Sometimes my sit and stare seizures, I had those for years, and I was telling people I didn't feel good, and I got sent to detention for like a whole year in elementary school because I was having seizures, and my teacher just thought I wasn't listening. But there's such a wide variety of seizures that I think everyone with epilepsy, so she's definitely not alone there. I think everyone with epilepsy has felt like that at one point.
Sorry. Yeah.
Angel, what has she taken?
It does not say. I read everything. But yeah.
So she's taken Xcopri. What has she taken?
It doesn't say.
Is there a way for you to find out?
I'd have to message her, but being that she's in the epilepsy subreddit,
she's on the beginning of
there.
her titration. She's on the 12.5.
Could be an adverse reaction on the beginning of her. She needs to find like an urgent care or an ER.
That's what I'm trying to tell her.
She needs to, that could be an adverse reaction. She at least needs to find someone nearby that can help her, that can help get her help.
I may just text her daughter.
Yeah. If you can, go ahead. Because if she has an adverse reaction, there's no one there to get her help, that can be really serious.
Wait, are we talking about the subreddit, what I'm reading?
Annie.
Talking about in the chat, Angel, this girl who's having side effects of Xcopri, and she just started the medication. That can be an adverse reaction, whatever she's having. That's something that she needs to get help for.
She is. I don't think you know Anne. Yeah.
No, I don't.
If you
I
know
just
Anne,
saw that. I saw red flags.
Yeah. If you get to know Anne, she got this. So let's move forward. This one says, had a seizure while driving, trying to make sense of it all. Not really sure what I'm hoping to get out of this posting, but I guess I just need to get it off my chest. A few days ago, I had a seizure behind the wheel. I ended up damaging 5 other cars. Somehow, I don't say that lightly, no one was hurt. Just a sore nose from the airbag and some seatbelt whiplash on my end. I don't know if it was God, the universe, luck, or some guardian angel, but I keep thinking this could have gone so much worse. They put me in an induced coma so they could run tests because I'd get aggressive while in the altered state. It's not my first seizure. I had one December 19th, another in July 2020, and then nothing for a whole 5 years until July 2025. I genuinely thought I was done with this chapter of my life. I was even tapering off meds. Now I feel like I'm right back at the start. But this time I have a wife and a toddler at home, and the fear is hitting different. So I guess I'm asking, besides the meds, what's helped you keep your seizures at bay? How do you live with the fear of hanging over you every day? I really appreciate anything, advice, routines, mindset shifts, whatever, just to find a way forward right now. Thanks for reading. Any advice? Thank you. I think about it every day. I take pills twice a day, and I think about it every time I take the pills. So I don't quite forget I have epilepsy. And then I'm thinking, oh, I hope it isn't the day. What did I do today? I ate, I drank, and so on. And come to find out, I haven't ate or drank today, but I just got food and I need to go get water. But you guys, they're asking for help. They're crying out for help, you guys.
I don't know how you can just like get over it unless you do some intense inner acceptance.
Well,
I don't know if you
the way I
should
look
just
at it
get
is
over
that
it.
it's not something that's going to go away. I mean, there are certain things in life that we have to deal with. Some people have to deal with more than others. Some problems have solutions. This one, the solution to this problem is just to manage it as best as we can. And as far as the existent, I mean, you can only worry about a problem once it is a problem, or else you will just destroy yourself with worry. I don't worry about a seizure until I've had a seizure, and then I worry like, okay, we're gonna adjust my meds and then live my life. I'm just, you can't go and look for problems. Just take things as they come. Like the group motto, shit happens.
It really does. Mark, were you trying to say something earlier?
I mean, I guess kind of in a similar vein. I don't think that it's necessarily something that we should just get over and just push aside. It's part of life, and it's important to remember that. Um, it's something that takes work to accept, though, but it can come with time. Um, it's
I'm sorry, you guys. I thought the conversation might have kept going.
It did.
I was going to agree with Mark there that this is this is kind of a lifelong trauma, and it's not about getting over it. This is more or less finding ways to cope with it. You know, on
Get through it.
yeah, finding the the little things that are getting to you and dealing with them. You have to, you know, the little traumas that are setting you back and coping with those. I think you have to that anything that's ruining your life, you have to not get over them, but just find solutions for those. Uh, you can't just leap over this like a no, that's not the solution. You have to cope with these, yeah.
You're the perfect person to give advice for this one. But I go to a comment. Someone says, honestly, I don't. My mindset is, how do you eat? Eat and shit.
I just
How
wanted
do
to
you eat
share
a shit sandwich? One
my
bite at a
puppy
time.
dog.
Who's high?
That's my dog.
Aw. You have to rub the belly for us.
I can't hold the computer and rub the belly. I can just point.
Fair enough.
Okay. Another one of these comments says, I've been seizure free for 10 plus years. Oh, for 10 years, had a breakthrough, and now 6 years. My current
Oh,
epileptologist suggested going off the meds. I told him he was crazy and to pound sand. That's a good one.
fucking sucks.
Someone else said,
That really sucks.
first of all, I'm so sorry that this happened to you, but I'm happy that everyone is okay. It most definitely could have been worse. Some of the best things I do to try and help my lifestyle. I can't do full keto, but I keep my carbs and sugar low, keep stress down, work out 5 to 6 times a day, take my meds 5 to 6 times a week, take my meds on a timer to the same minute each day, and get some fresh air and try to enjoy life as much as I can. I had my license taken away last year after a cluster of seizures, and I thought it would be the end of the world, but things are okay. I'm sending you the best.
I haven't driven in 7 years.
I'm a horrible patient. She sounds like the prime example of a good patient. I'm a horrible patient. So she's doing great.
Okay, something else. Ever have something positive trigger an aura? For me, it's being emotionally touched. Like if one of my tutoring students tells me, I really help them to understand something better. I first noticed when I got pregnant with my second child that if I got emotionally touched by something, even on TV, I would get an electrical wave sensation in my head and roller coaster to the stomach. Any advice? You guys ever had something trigger an aura? Thought an aura was just a seizure.
I mean, it's kind of like a seizure before your seizure, right?
I don't have auras. I don't know.
The aura is a seizure.
Yeah, if it gets to the point of having an aura and having awareness of it, then there's already epileptic activity going on. It's already a seizure technically. Um, but those aura slash seizures sound very familiar. Similar to roller coaster stomach drop thing is something that happens to me. So um, they shouldn't feel alone in that, I guess, at least for whatever that's worth.
Man, epilepsy is weird. Everybody's got such weird individual triggers. That one is really hard to avoid.
That's why I love this, because I learned so much. Like, I read something that someone couldn't eat certain foods, and then I read one where someone couldn't listen to music.
Can
It's
we go
called music.
around and say our weirdest triggers?
I don't know any triggers, but musicogenic seizures is, I didn't know it was a thing. Musicogenic.
Some
Is it
kind of
any
music.
music that they listen to, or is it just particular types? Because I
I
can
think it's
see how, like, listening to certain audio patterns could cause a similar effect to seeing certain visual patterns, frequencies and stuff. You know, they're both
I had a seizure at a
electrical
Motley Crue
electrical
concert.
wave activity.
Did you
At a what
really?
concert?
Yeah.
Do
And
what?
the Rolling Stones.
Jeez.
It was the last
At
their
least you got to
last
go to the
concert.
concert.
The Rolling Stones
Did you
last
at least
concert. No, we drove all the way down to Houston for it, and we went into the state as soon as they started playing, and for some reason, like I was already feeling off. Like I can tell when I'm feeling off, but I was just because I don't technically have auras. They've never recorded an aura on my anyway, but so I go in, I just kind of and I remember like the beginning of the first song, and then the rest is just a blur, and I woke up in the car on the way back to Dallas.
That isn't cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
And
like you can
that
ask
happened
for
at
a
with the
refund
Motley
for that.
Crue concert too. I was so excited for Motley Crue.
I went to see the
Motley Crue did
weekend.
not like me.
I went to see the
I
You know
also
what?
weekend,
had
I saw them.
and
You
everyone
know what's
thought the
also weird?
lights.
I also had a seizure when I was watching the movie for Motley Crue.
Really?
Yes.
You shouldn't deal with Motley Crue.
Also,
That's so
magic
stupid.
mushrooms are a trigger for me.
Mushroom, what?
Magic
Mushrooms or magic?
mushrooms
I,
Oh, oh, okay,
are a
okay.
seizure trigger.
Mushrooms have
This
not been a
is
trigger for me.
interesting.
Yeah,
Because I've wondered about it. I've used psilocybin and LSD in the past to treat depression, like self-treat, and I found psilocybin in particular to be incredibly effective. It's like pressing a reset button on the depression. Um, but everybody says, "Oh no, don't do any." I
made me
don't
want to
think any of
dance.
them realize how like sedating mushrooms actually are. It's not like up and out and around.
No,
So I've wondered
they
about any
have
firsthand
they have
accounts
this
of.
place out here. It's actually a church. It's called Zydor, and they research mushrooms and they sell mushrooms. And they have mushrooms for depression, mushrooms for epilepsy, and all kinds of different reasons for these. It looks like a dispensary, but they have mushrooms, and they tell you
That
what they're all
sounds kind
for.
of bro sciency to me, honestly.
I live in
Like
Texas, so
for
this is just a very
depression, for
like bizarre.
Yeah, and the psilocybin, love it. It helps. Makes me want to dance.
This would never be legal in my state either.
But it doesn't trigger anything for you. It
Doesn't
can,
trigger anything. The best experience I had was the first time, and it was crazy. There was lights and um, like kaleidoscopes, and when you close your eyes, and there's nothing like your first time.
But the weirdest thing is because I love mushrooms. It was like a 2-year period of time where if I took them, I would have seizures. And then like a couple years later, I tried it. And during that time period, I was really sick and in and out of hospitals that I tried it. And I just wanted to hang out with the rest of people and feel normal and I don't know. And then after, it didn't trigger anymore. It's
Yeah,
weird.
That's so weird.
I stopped with the actual mushrooms, and I do the psilocybin because you do it with the chocolate bar. They measure it through
Chocolate bars
pieces.
are nice.
Yeah, they measure it through pieces. I can't do the mushroom itself because personally they taste like dirt. But
Yeah.
that's just me.
Chocolate bars make me giggle.
Yeah, that's just me personally. They taste like dirt. I can't just crush it and put it in my mouth and chew that. It's like chewing a leaf it's fall and it's crunchy. That's what I compare it to. So to each his own.
I mean, you should just grind it up into a powder and put it into little gelatin capsules and just swallow a handful of gelatin capsules.
They
If you
sell
want to
little
try like the actual just direct organic mushroom type experience, but they can be a lot more variable. So you might you might get a real zap from just one mushroom and you might get kind of a dud,
Yeah,
depending on
the actual mushroom has never done anything for me. Just eating the mushroom, it just always made me feel like just can't sit still. Like I should be doing something. I should be dancing or something. Is how that felt.
feel
Um,
hesitant to comment on this because I'm born and raised in Texas.
Go ahead.
No, but it's recorded.
Everything's recorded. Come on.
It's
Um,
it's just how culture. I don't know, but you can take the actual mushroom and grind it up because it's dried out. You can put it in like a coffee grinder and grind it up into a powder and then take that powder and they sell empty capsules and like the little things to fill it up and you just swipe it and you make it into little pills.
okay. Never thought of that. Yeah.
I don't know that, but it's just randomly popped into my head.
yeah, you just read about that somewhere. Somebody somewhere across the globe on the internet
Yeah,
was telling people about that.
I'm just sitting here petting my dog is all.
Okay.
Casually.
So the thing about someone said, does anything ever positive ever trigger an aura? One of the comments said, one of my biggest triggers is nostalgia. When I think of positive memories from my childhood, especially if memories are triggered by a smell, I have auras. Luckily, not every good memory from my childhood triggers them, but the ones that I have deep nostalgic feeling, like especially when ones associated with smell, will almost always trigger an aura for me. Someone else said, any kind of happy or good anticipation triggers the heaviest auras for me. And that's really challenging because those are often the things that are most important to me. Someone else says, it's the big emotional changes quickly that get me.
Wait, if you're banned from Epilepsy group, how do you access it?
You can read, you can like, you can share, you just can't comment.
How did you get banned?
I think they just didn't like that I started this.
Oh.
They didn't give me a reason. At first, it said for drug references, but I was only talking about weed. So
They
Yeah,
literally have a. I digress.
yeah, they just
It,
started
yeah, it's
banning the
just
mods too.
butthurt mods, I think. I don't see any reason except just
I mean,
they're kind of juvenile over there,
a bit
maybe.
silly in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they banned a few people that are mods for Epilepsy Universe. No big reasons, but yeah, I think they're disliking us. And they banned someone who wasn't a mod, who was just telling someone about the podcast. Banned them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How
I
dare
think
you?
that might be for like promotion or something. I don't think you're supposed
Yeah,
to promote stuff.
I think it's promotion.
But Tom, he wasn't actually promoting it on the page. He asked a few people in their DMs.
I
Okay.
I was
Talk.
one
I
of
like. They take that. I don't know. Not.
He said they gave him no reason. They just banned him. Like me, they gave me no reason when I asked him. He said it was for drug references, and then deleted all his messages from me.
I mean,
I
if
didn't know
they
anything
clicked
about
over and
this
checked out the YouTube, they
subreddit.
would have
I
seen
just got the
Tom as
invite
one
and
of the
checked it out.
first 1v1 interviews that you've done. They may have seen him as kind of tight with the high ups over there in
Yeah, that's what
Epilepsy
I was thinking.
Universe. So that's a shame.
Yeah, because there was one guy over there. He messaged me. For the ones who have been part of Epilepsy Universe for a while, he messaged me and he told me he's from over there and he's a mod over there and he doesn't respect me as a man because of the way I went about getting people from Epilepsy to come with me. And he was just like, "Yeah, I can't respect you as a man. I like what you have going. I joined your podcast before. I love it, but
I wonder
I
if
don't
he would
respect you."
respect you as a woman.
I don't know. He was just like, "I can't respect you. How you went about it." So I was like, "All right, there's nothing I can do. I don't even know who you are on the other side of these words and keyboard." And so,
And
Not about respect. He's just butthurt.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
mean,
sent the
why
leader.
would he think that his opinion of you has any significance whatsoever? It sounds like just narcissistic mods trying to
Troll the world.
keep
How
hold of
dare you
what power
get off of
they
what
think
we
that they
have.
have. They've got their little world that they're ruling over, and you're a rising empire, a threat to their nation. So can't have
Dare
that.
you rebel?
That's how they feel.
Yeah. Oh,
So yeah, I talked to the leader and I showed him the message from the person or whatever the case, and he was just like, "Okay." And then I was like, "Okay, I'm banned from your subreddit." I told him I'm not sending this message to beg you to unban me. I was just sending the message to ask you, is there any way we can work together because I'm doing this for epilepsy awareness? And all he said was nope. And then he deleted his messages from me. So, yeah, they're doing a different cause over there. Over there's for fun. Anyhow, so got this here. Oh, it says embarrassing confession. I used to fake seizures when I was little. So yes, before my child self gets attacked, I do actually indeed, unfortunately, still have epilepsy. My dad recently passed, and I was attending a group therapy session this week. We decided to share fond memories, and I remember I used to do this thing when I was a little, 9 to 10 years old. My epilepsy was finally somewhat controlled, so with the extra energy I had, I used to think it would be funny to fake seizures in front of him to get out of things. Anytime he asked me to eat my veggies or do chores, I would carefully but dramatically drop to the ground and flail like a fish. It's very obvious I'm faking because he knows what seizures look and I don't. I would take my references from films. It started out looking silly. My dad would humor me and say things like, "Oh no, son, wait, strange." Usually when he has a seizure, he would stick his tongue out and puff up his cheeks like a puffer fish, and I would immediately do that. With every fake seizure, my dad would start saying things like, Oh, and he would move his head like a chicken, or his toes would start to wiggle like worms. So I started doing those more. This went on for months. He would let me off of those chores, and I would pretend to be tired and go to bed, actually playing Pokemon on my Game Boy Advance SP or with Barbies under the covers. I genuinely thought I was getting away with it. Eventually, the typical signs of my seizures were looking incredibly dumb. One day he said, "Oh no, heckaroodle, tonic-clonic seizures are increasing so much in frequency. I need to take a video for the neurologist." After this particularly fake seizure ended, he shows me the video and says, "I'm going to send this to the neurologist. I'm concerned." When I saw the video, and I was so damn embarrassed, but but I already dug a hole that lies so deep, I need to keep it going. The next day, he pretends to get off a call with a neurologist, looks at me with fake tears in his eyes, and says, "Son, Dr. Neurologist says, unfortunately, we need to get rid of we need to get rid of your right arm and your left brain because the epilepsy has spread. This means you won't have your arm and you won't be able to talk or play games anymore." Oh my God, you should have seen the way I cried and threw myself into his arms, loudly screaming and admitting that, "No, I lied. I'm sorry. I lied." I never again faked a seizure until the day he suddenly passed. My dad told this story to everyone. I don't blame him. It's pretty funny. He always taught me life lessons like this. I have so many more stories to tell. A single dad who raised a child with epilepsy all alone, always worked hard and never failed to be humorous. I miss our camping trips. I miss our knitting together. I miss our reading sessions. I miss our dancing evenings. I miss him so much. Such a silly guy. And to continue how I would boast about him to my friends, I don't I must tell you, don't mess with me because my dad is an Eagle Scout. Any thoughts or opinions are appreciated. I'd like to hear your blunt your blunt truths. Um,
I mean, I would do that if I was a kid, I would definitely have done something similar of that nature because I always did that type of shit when I was a kid.
Yeah, the
Um,
kids don't know how to do the seizure perks.
well,
He just learned it. He just didn't know yet.
I wasn't diagnosed with epilepsy yet, but if I had known that I had epilepsy at that time, I definitely would have used it to my advantage. But what it reminds me of the time that my mom I don't know my mom wanted me to do something and I didn't want to do it because I was doing something, but um she was like, if you don't do this, I'm gonna throw your favorite Barbie away. And I was like, okay. So I turned around and ran back to my room and grabbed the Barbie and I held it over the trash and I was like, this one? And then I threw it out and ran back to my room and continued playing. Um, so yeah, I definitely would have done something similar. That sounds like me. I also tied up one of my Barbies, um, like this with strings, from poles and had her strung like that for a little
But
while.
Barbies weren't supposed to move like
Yeah,
this.
no, I had her arms and legs like an X. Um, I had her tied up in the air on my bunk bed, and I was so proud of myself, and I was so excited to show my mom. And my mom saw it, and she was horrified because she was like, "What is wrong with you?" Um, and I was like,
Kids
"Girl, what
being
are you talking about?
kids.
This artistic masterpiece." And she was like, "That's probably more autistic a masterpiece, but slay girl." Um, I also told my mom to go fuck herself one time.
as a child,
Yeah, when I was 4
I
and
did too.
got Christmas taken away. but ended up having one of the best Christmases of my entire life at a Jewish household. It was so much fun.
Can I, real quick, just history fact, did you know that the way you described the Barbie tied up like that, like basically spread eagle, the Romans would crucify people like that. The way that it's come down through Christian tradition with the T like that is not really the way that most Roman crucifixions were done. They kind of got creative and hung people up all kinds of different ways. So you had a lot of historical authenticity to your artistic masterpiece there too. I think that's
Yeah,
pretty
I
cool.
mean, my family always said I was an old soul, so I always did weird shit like that. So, maybe I'm just one of the Romans and it's embedded in me. Maybe I fought to the death in one of those big.
The gladiator.
Yeah, I think that I was a
Yeah.
gladiator in a past life and probably fought to the death. I probably died, but it's cool that I got to do it.
Honor,
No regrets.
no regrets.
No regrets.
Any other thoughts on this faking seizures?
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, I would.
Don't do it if you don't have them, though.
I wouldn't.
Child.
That's a little much. I've been seeing that like people do that on TikTok.
Oh yes, it's a trend.
Yeah, I don't know why that's a trend now.
Ugh.
Or they like pretend to have a disability for a dance or something and it looks a
It's
little bit.
not.
There's a whole subreddit that it's called illness fakers.
What?
Yeah, I saw it on,
Check it out.
Seriously?
main, main character syndrome.
Yes, you should go check it out right now.
So, gonna go through the comments here.
I think illness faking is a disability within itself.
Right.
I'm pretty
Something's
sure
wrong.
that's called Munchausen's.
Munchausen.
I think some people just
Munchausen.
do it ignorantly though. Like just for shits and giggles.
They have something called imposter syndrome.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the
I
reverse.
don't think
Computer
that
charger isn't working,
I don't think
and
that
I'm about to die.
like I don't think that everyone using it like pretending to have a disability or something always means it in a like in a diagnosis way. I think some of them just do it to do it. Like just acting for fun.
I think some people just are being stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
For
people that believe
attention
that they
or
have a
There
for
are some
disability
people
when they
that
don't,
genuinely
or when they're
were.
making themselves sick, yeah.
Yes, that is a whole other thing. But there are just some ignorant people that do that for shits and
That's so
giggles.
fucked up.
So
It's
the definition of
so funny.
imposter syndrome is a feeling of being a fake or a phony despite your achievements.
Munchausen by internet.
So basically, that's like I was a football player, but you feel like you're fake, I guess.
no, it's like you're um well, like me when I had gotten my engineering degree and got my first job, in the the thermodynamics and like power plant field. Um, I had the GPA that stood out. I had done well in the interview. I had knowledge about turbines that my peers didn't because I built one for my senior design project. So when I got in there, I was, the new guy, but um, I had still met um, all of the requirements, all of the criteria. I had done everything. I deserved to be there just as much as all of the colleagues that I had, but I felt like I particularly didn't deserve to be there. There was something about me that I was not as qualified as they believed that I was, and it was only a matter of time until they realized that they had hired somebody who could not fill the role that they wanted to um, to be filled to serve, and um, yeah, the anxiety that goes with that of being discovered and of losing that position that I had achieved, um, because I felt like I didn't deserve to have achieved it.
Okay, now put it all together. I understand now. Back to this post about being faking seizures. Someone says, "What a hilarious story, and what a beautiful, loving, moving picture you captured of your dad. It seems like he was such a great guy. You were lucky to have each other. Thank you for sharing your memories of him with us." Someone else said, 10,000 cool points for your dad. Someone else said, "What a gift you both shared for creativity. My dad also led with humor and gentleness, and it's a legacy I'm proud to have absorbed and trying the hardest to pass down to my own kids. My mom was a screamer, so I've definitely lived both sides. The greatly prefer the way of dad." Me too. I don't know what to say other than what is something you had to stop lying to yourself about? That's the question. Um, that's the question.
It's a deep question.
Yeah.
What did you say?
What's something you had to stop lying to yourself about?
That is a hard one.
Pretty deep.
I mean, I've had to stop lying to myself about having the seizures to begin with.
Yeah.
And then I've had to stop lying to myself about the seizures going away.
Yep.
And then I've had to stop lying. I mean, can you see where that's kind of going? It's
Yeah.
just um what's the most recent time I needed to stop lying to myself? That would have been last Saturday when mid seizure, new type of seizure. Didn't want to admit it. Had to call for dad for help. Never had to do that before. It had, yeah, had to learn a new lesson. So it's a never-ending progression of learning, self-improvement. I'll look at it that way.
I had to stop lying to myself about I'm doing everything right because at one point I wasn't, but I was telling myself I'm doing everything right. Why am I still having seizures? But I'm smoking nicotine with the weed. So I had to stop smoking blunts and smoke papers. And I'd be a little late on my pills. And like I said, I'm in my head telling myself, what am I doing wrong? I'm doing everything right. But that was something I told myself, it's okay. I've been doing this. So that's something I had to stop lying to myself about and just had
I
to
sit
quit.
here vaping.
Uh, I'm not vaping nicotine though. That I do not. No more nicotine. I've never smoked cigarettes. or any nicotine or any vape nicotine. It's always been just nicotine with cigars. I mean,
I
well,
quit
weed
for a
ones.
long I quit for years. And then I when my cousin died, I started smoking again, vaping, because I always told him not to vape. He was the one that was vaping, and when I quit, I was like telling him not to vape, and then I started vaping after he died as a kind of fuck it moment, and then I couldn't stop again. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to be depressing. What were you trying to say?
Oh, nothing.
Fuck.
Be as depressing as you want to. That's what we're here for. Get it off your chest.
Well, mine's not depressing. It just made me feel sick. I just felt sick on that. But
yeah.
Someone else said I had to stop telling myself I'll just have one drink. Plot twist. I came to 3 days later. That sucks.
I don't understand drinking if like having one drink, because it tastes bad and it doesn't do anything to you, and then like if you're gonna drink, then why don't you just get like tipsy or drunk? I don't get it.
Well, that's what people do. They get tipsy or drunk.
Yeah, but they say like I'll just have like we're just going out like for one drink, or I'm
Yeah,
just
I don't get the one drink either, because at
why
that point, just don't have a drink.
I
Yeah,
like
I don't have
taste.
a drink
But
then.
the one drink is an excuse for them to say it kind of, I don't know,
Maybe I'll just have
it's
another and another.
Just one drink, make it a
When I
Long
used to
Island
drink,
or
I would
something.
drink to get drunk. I was just flat out with it. I was like, guys, just hand me the bottle. Like, I don't need a cup. I just give me the bottle.
So would I. Yeah, that's what I would do. And the thing
It
that
was
annoys me
much
more than
easier.
anything is people who drink for the flavor. They pay $15 for a beer and they act like, oh, I'll save for this. This is
I used to live with a
so good.
alcoholic, and she liked wine, and she liked wine tasting, and sometimes I get dragged along, and she'd be like to my mom, she's like, "Do you taste the oak in it?" My mom's
Oh,
like, "Bitch, I don't even like to fucking drink. What the fuck?" Because my mom doesn't even like to drink. And there's her alcoholic girlfriend, like, "Do you taste the raspberry oak?" No, girl, no one tastes the raspberry oak. We want to go home. It's a school
There
night.
are
right.
differences in
just
people's
grace.
sensory sensitivities. So there are some people who genuinely like get that strong of a sense of being able to differentiate, this from that, from that, from that, from that. And they're usually like the super pickiest eaters.
Oh,
They like, I can tell this is not made with
I mean, she was just an
this
alcoholic.
particular
I
type
think
of
those people are
grain.
just called pretentious.
I
Yeah,
don't know. Like,
well,
honestly, I'm one of them. I can taste
Thank
the thing.
you.
I mean, I'm not going to push it on anybody else, but I can tell the difference between
I can also.
Between
flavors that
$3
other
chuck
people taste.
and like a really nice bottle of wine, I can tell the difference there, but either way, it doesn't really, I don't mind either way.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I mean, I don't drink now, but I used to drink for the taste of the drink and not to get drunk. So maybe I'm obviously the weird one, but we do exist.
Okay. Okay.
I
Sorry.
do drink, but only on special day.
The last time I drank was Easter. When I started this, I told myself no more stimulants and stopped cold turkey. So I got one here. Somebody says I had to stop lying to myself and telling myself it doesn't hurt. I had to face what I felt and accept that it did hurt.
Life's a bitch.
Yeah.
And then you die. Because
Shit happens.
I had a stroke mid surgery.
Oh God.
From a brain tumor that I had taken out. Oh, fuck. See?
What was that like?
Oh wow.
And then
Battle wounds.
battle wounds time.
True warrior.
True warrior.
Someone else says, I had to stop telling myself that people were saying things they didn't know what they were talking about, but they still had good intentions. I don't think everyone has good intentions, but yeah, that's a good thing to stop lying to yourself about.
Sometimes when I hit my cart, it kind of feels like when you inhale water in my head and then I sneeze. Or
Hurt like a bitch.
when I smoke. Sometimes just when I smoke in general, it feels like that. And I don't know why.
Before moving on, I got one more. He actually says two things. He said, I had to stop telling myself that I'm in good shape. And I also had to tell myself that I'm good at lying.
Josie, are you okay?
Yeah, that's a good one. We got one here. It says, I'm mad at my professor. So for background, I was in the past ashamed of my epilepsy and I accepted, but today my professor decided to the point on how don't put effort. She knows I have epilepsy, so I get defensive, like my memory is goldfish reputation. What do you expect? Then she say with full confidence there is no such thing as epilepsy for life. Well, my blood boil and we argue, but like I just want her to rip her apart. It should be rip, but there's an E. Rip her apart. I ignore her. I accept myself and I am not waiting for her validation. The stupid level I try to explain how affect my memory and it's for life, but she's denying it's for life. I only rant when it's really makes me mad. I only rant when it wants to make me mad. But I really like your advice. Should I be mad or am I wrong for being mad at her? No, I guess with epilepsy, people say stuff sometimes and it might just piss me off. And I guess I'm just mad because I'm mad. Sometimes it is messed up though. Is she wrong for being mad, you guys?
No.
You're never wrong for having feelings. Feelings are feelings. But is she justified? Yeah. I mean, that was a shitty, ignorant thing for her professor to do and say. Or their professor.
Any other opinions on that? I'll go to the comments. Someone said, OMFG, what is she a professor in? You would have a complaints process at your school, use it immediately and to its full capabilities. If you're still unhappy at the response, there will be some process at the education department of your local government that oversees schools and can further investigate this. You are entirely valid in your anger. Don't just let this slide because it's easier. Someone else said,
Wait,
to
do
her.
they think that this needs to be actively punished? Like this person's professional career needs to be maligned because of a comment that they made that honestly, if anything, shows that they're ignorant more than malicious. If it was something where they were um like saying this and knowingly trying to be hurtful, that's one thing. But if the professor doesn't know any better, I don't know. It seems like a weird way to go for me to like go immediately to university complaints board and then the education board complaint something. I don't know what it was that they said something, but it just I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
said
That seems
report to the
like
Board
a
of Education.
Karen kind of comment. I'm not sure it really warrants that sort of response.
Yeah, that's extreme.
Yeah. Someone else says, go to her again and make sure your phone is in your purse with the recorder on. Then say nothing. Let your parents listen and go to the principal with it. In my country, it's not a crime to record without consent if it's between yourself and someone else. It is if you record a conversation without consent between two people. What a hateful woman. Someone like that is not worthy of being called a teacher or professor.
Oh my goodness. People need to calm down just a little bit.
I mean, if it's like, if the teacher's like not giving them leniency or is subjecting them out or whatever specifically, then yeah, I would go to the principal if they're specifically being targeted for their disability. But if the teacher just doesn't understand that it can be lifelong, then I would just kind of go on with your day, because I mean, a lot of people don't know a lot of things in their hierarchies, so it's not an uncommon thing, unfortunately. So
Did,
I think it's not the worst thing to um have said.
Yeah.
didn't George Costanza hide a recorder in his briefcase to catch people because of his paranoia?
I
That was
don't
just
remember
something.
that, but it sounds like something he would do.
It just seems uh, just be straightforward with people. I mean, if this,
Yeah.
yeah, I actually had difficulty with a professor in college, and he was a dick about it, but I cleared it up. So I was straightforward with him about my myoclonic seizures, and he didn't know what a myoclonic seizure was. He didn't know that um, it took a little while to clear it up. He didn't know that I wasn't unintentionally kicking this person's. He thought I was kicking this person's chair in front of me, but I had to actually tell him, no, this is um, a, a, a nervous disorder. That's right. This is epilepsy that I have, and I had to really get that across to him. And I think it's better to just be straightforward with people. Yeah.
Um,
George can't stand you.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't suggest trying to get a teacher fired. You go talk to the teacher.
Right?
you're calm, the person should be calm. If you're yelling, then expect what you're going in there giving. Got another question. What's your favorite sushi?
Oh,
Like,
I love California rolls, especially the spicy ones.
is that the salmon and mango? Or
My favorite is dragon roll.
What's in that?
Um, 1 second. I know there's eel, and then it's rolled in something. I should know this. I eat it so much.
A California roll is like avocado, crab, and cucumber, I think.
Sometimes there's cream cheese in it as well.
Oh yeah, good point. They're so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's like
inside out
we call
roll.
that like the white person.
Yeah, it's a good intro.
Yeah, it's like the white person sushi roll, I guess, but it's really good. So, it reminds me of the salmon and
it's
with you put smoked salmon and cream cheese on a bagel
Uh,
in New York.
salmon and lox and salmon or
Mhm.
something like that. Yeah, that's really yummy.
Bagels and lox. I don't
There
like
you
the capers though. Those are gross.
No,
But
same.
I do like salmon and lox.
Yeah, so it's barbecue eel and eel sauce
Oh, okay. No, I do like that.
rolled in rice
Nice.
and
I gotta
avocado.
try that. What's it called again?
Dragon roll.
Dragon rolls?
Probably doesn't look the best over camera, but
Oh, I didn't know you had it right there. Nice.
Yeah, he ordered sushi.
yeah, the question wasn't actually on my phone. I was just like, let
Nice.
me see what they like.
I
Good
like
answer though.
eel a
No one
lot.
really gave me a different answer besides something I haven't heard. I heard California rolls and
Do you like shrimp tempura?
don't know what it is, to be honest.
Hey, things you haven't heard of.
Um,
It's like uh kind of like a shrimp paste thing. It's like all smashed up and then they fry it. And they'll do it with tuna sometimes too. I
yeah,
think.
this looks like eel wrapped around rice, and then
Nice.
it's eel wrapped around seaweed, and the seaweed's wrapped around the rice, and then avocado and eel on the top. All right, it's good. Next question: are your seizure symptoms always exactly the same, or are there slight changes sometimes? My question is the one you see above. Doctors told me it's always the exact the same, but I have a slight changes sometimes. So I would love to know how you experience it. The first comment is mine's always evolve. Parts are always the same. I have focal seizures, but then others change. I don't think mine's are ever the same. Not that I can remember much, but my body always hurts differently. Um, every time I'm wondering what the fuck just happened. It seems horrible. And yeah, I guess they gradually get worse. And especially because my seizures aren't just like standing still focals anymore. They're kind of wandering off. So that's a little different. Does anybody else feel like their seizure symptoms get worse, or better, or change?
Mine just
changed a
changed.
little,
Yeah.
but
Say that
I
again.
think you're having different kinds.
Yeah, it doesn't really specify, but my seizures are all over the place. I haven't had focals in a while though.
Oh, I'm gonna quote someone that I read on the subreddit. I think someone said their doctor said the only consistent thing about epilepsy is inconsistency. And I think it's pretty true. Like it just changes so much over time. Um, the severity of it, the how it started off. My seizures, they weren't very bad for us so long, and then they got really bad, and then the petite malls got not. I keep calling them the myoclonics got really bad, and then they went away, and it just yeah, they just change over time. That's all I could say.
Mark, did you have anything?
There was something I think I had started saying. I'm trying to figure it out now. The uh Oh, I mean, my seizures had always been the like tingling and stuff. So, I mean, I hate to keep bringing it up, but it is still kind of fresh in my memory. That seizure from Saturday was pretty dramatically different, and my neurologist at the appointment yesterday had said that that's an extremely unusual presentation for a seizure, particularly coming from the right frontotemporal lobe. So, either it's a really weird form, a completely different presentation of seizures coming from the same region that they always have been coming from, or seizures are starting to come from a new part of the brain that they haven't come from before. I mean, I guess maybe it wasn't even an epileptic seizure. Maybe there was something else weird going on. I don't know how we would diagnose that retrospectively, but I mean that goes exactly into what Kevin says, that the only consistent thing that you can rely on with epilepsy is inconsistency. It will change, and even if you've had it controlled for, a few years, the brain can still develop new, different pathways that can start seizing again. So brace yourself for the ride. Don't hold on for the cure. Just know it's gonna be bumpy. I guess that did not sound inspiring at all, did it? I don't know.
It did. It's going to help someone.
Hopefully. I
If not
mean,
here, it's going to help someone somewhere. Someone is saying that's a good thing. Maybe I should tell my doctor.
yeah, that someone's just not here. Is that what you're saying?
Someone else will say it. Someone watching it.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Someone's gonna be like, I'm going through that. Maybe I should talk to my doctor about that. Until then, somebody has a comment here about the things being exact the same, basically. She said, from my fiance's first seizure over a year ago and focal, they've changed so much. He used to have a metallic taste, but doesn't anymore. Even in a month or so, they've looked so different. I think if it's not treated or medicated, it does evolve. Can't take the advice from someone who doesn't have a seizure, but to the next one says, I have never remembered how I felt before a seizure, but I feel nauseous randomly. Face goes red and I get an aura feeling. That is like deja vu. My neurologist says that it is what usually happens before a seizure. However, I can't confirm since I never remember what I was doing before the seizure. Someone said, I have cortical dysplasia, and that can evolve over time and affect different parts of the brain. Also, my first seizure was tonic-clonic, then some complex partials, then tonic-clonics, and now we're back to complex partials. That goes along with the inconsistency, consistent of being inconsistent. Another one says, I'm new to this. Mild versus severe. Sorry if my English is bad. I just got diagnosed with epilepsy, JME, but it was quite mild. I get myoclonic jerks every week or so, and that's it. I asked my doctor about it. He said it is common, imposter syndrome. Please help me realize my epilepsy is as valid as yours. The question was mild versus severe, and the person was looking for advice. This is another one, imposter syndrome thing. Come on, somebody has to have some thoughts on this. The first comment says, I am in the same boat as you. My JME isn't severe. I don't have tonic-clonics either, just myoclonic, but it's really annoying. I mean, solving math equations usually trigger my seizures. Sleep deprivation and stress also does that. Hunger does that. Activities that require fine movement do. So it affects my daily life. This one might.
I'll
Go ahead, Kevin.
say something. That hunger, that was always a trigger for me back in the day. Uh, that was so weird. Someone mentioned a few weeks ago, or maybe last week, I don't remember, uh, the three uh, connections of was in the brain, the vagus nerve, and the gut. The chemicals all connect that way. I forget, but that was really fascinating because I always had to wake up and eat something right away because that would calm the myoclonics down. And but as far as triggers go, uh, yeah, focusing on math problems. I remember in high school just trying to solve problems. It just kept flickering things in my brain. I could solve the problem, but it just setting off glitches in my head. Yeah, it was awful. And if I was hungry, that would double the stress. And uh, um, yeah, it was just horrendous. Um, my advice would be to uh, reduce those triggers by, you know, if hunger is something for you, always get a good breakfast or lunch or whatever. Yeah, that's something to just know your triggers and such like that. So to reduce whatever.
One of the comments says, if you're having seizures, if you're having suspected seizures, then yes, stay away from bodies of water, especially if unsupervised, because you run the risk of drowning. Even if you are able to be treated, one should still exercise extreme caution around bodies of water unless someone is watching you like a hawk. I know somebody who doesn't agree, but another one says, swimming alone isn't safe for anyone, most especially not for someone with unmedicated epilepsy, a fear of swimming, and chronic fatigue. If you panic in the water, you will wear yourself out and drown. If you get to the middle of the pool and you're too tired to hold your head above water because of your muscles aren't used to the work of swimming, you will drown. The closest I ever came to drowning was in a lap, and the lap was in a lap pool with my family right there next to me in the next lane. The exhaustion hit, and I couldn't even yell. And I used to be a strong swimmer. I didn't feel tired or stressed until that moment. After that, I've never swam alone. Luffy, got an opinion on that? No.
If you don't feel comfortable swimming and you don't feel confident in the water with your epilepsy, then don't do it. I don't feel confident running on the treadmill with my epilepsy, so I don't do it. But I do feel confident swimming a mile in the pool, which I did that today, and I didn't drown. So, you know, just because you have epilepsy doesn't mean that you can't swim. That's a misconception. Um, if I was having chronic myoclonic cluster attacks throughout the day, then I wouldn't go swimming. It's just using common sense there. So hopefully, but if it's medicated and working for you, and the water doesn't stress you out, then go swimming. I mean, and if anything, go to a public pool. They got lifeguards.
This person also said, I heard you, Liffin. You said with the lifeguard?
Yeah, they should. They'll come and rescue you. Hopefully, maybe. Some of them are 16, but
Someone over 16. Gotcha.
it's whatever.
This person says, for context, I have nocturnal frontal lobe epilepsy. Oh, I'm not gonna say you don't have anything to worry about. But yeah. Oh no, I think this is a different one. Anyhow, I got one. It says, epilepsy ruined my life. 22 years old, and I feel like epilepsy has ruined my entire life. I started having focal aware seizures at 15, but I didn't know what they were, and I wasn't diagnosed until the last year. I was at 21. I've already tried 3 different medications, and none of them have worked. Currently, I'm on topiramate, and it only works about half the time. The only time I can function like a normal human being is when I take my rescue med, the razepam. I'm in college, but I don't really have any friends. A big part of that is because I don't drive anymore, and I don't really know how to explain it to potential friends or dates without scaring them off or feeling embarrassed. So I usually make up some weird random excuse, like I'm not feeling well right now. Maybe I should go lay down. I have my family members drive me around everywhere, which I'm lucky to have, but it still makes me feel 16 and like such a burden. Plus, they don't really understand epilepsy and think it's over. It's mostly something I can have the willpower to get over. Everyone else my age is starting to live their lives, and I can't do the same because of epilepsy is holding me back. I feel hopeless, like my life is over, and no one in my life really understands. Someone give me hope. This person is 22. They were diagnosed when they were 15. No, diagnosed at 22, 21. Had seizures since 15. I say once you find a good med and get decent distance in between seizures, I don't know, maybe.
I can say something. I was diagnosed at 14 and I am now 42. And I've been through 12 different medications. Yeah, some of them I become tolerant to. Some of them, the side effects, I couldn't, like my body couldn't handle them. Um, but I lived my life. I went to concerts. I've done things. I went to Mexico. I went to Cancun. I swam with dolphins. Um,
I wouldn't believe that unless I had seen it. And
I
it was good. That picture was nice, Angel. Who took that picture?
You're welcome. And I also I had a child. You know, Pookie has more than me, but
Don't do that.
but it's you know you still have a life and still have a time. It's all it's just going to get it takes a while, but once you start managing it, it becomes easy. I wouldn't say easy, but it's manageable, you know?
Or like I say, it gets easier with time. It's not gonna get easy fast. Give it some time. It's gonna get worse, but it's gonna get easier. It's gotten easier over the past 20. And some might say, "Oh, that's a long time for it to get better." Um, just give it time and don't stress yourself too much because that can also cause a seizure. Um, um, Someone says in the comments, "I totally feel you. I felt the exact same way for so long. Felt like a little kid who had to go get his mom to take me everywhere. Just to be honest, with friends, dates, it's not your fault. You have epilepsy, and they don't understand that. Then they don't understand your fault. They don't understand that then they were meant to be your friends anyway. Nobody has ever given me a hard time about not being able to drive. Just offer up gas money or something in exchange since you're not driving anymore. I know how it feels to look at everyone your age when they're in different places in their lives and it seems like they've got it all figured out and you don't. It took me a long time to stop caring what other people my age are at in life and comparing to my situation. Epilepsy sucks and it's hard to come to terms with, but you're not alone. You can always DM me if you need. Nice people. Someone also says, "Hello, my friend. You've got us friends here, and we're all in the same boat. It will be easier if you had gone a while and had time to accept the reality of epilepsy. That way, you don't let epilepsy define you, isn't by resisting and trying to pretend it doesn't exist. The way is to accept it and continue your life while taking whatever measures are necessary. It's there, but it's doesn't define you unless you make hating epilepsy your whole personality. Also, I am just making sure nasalium exists. I'm just making sure nasalium exists, and I'm making sure you are aware of that." Hmm. Someone says, "How did you get disability? I am barely able to work 10 hours a week due to constant focal aware clusters where I lose my speech and ability to function effectively." Um, Anybody here get disability or Medicare, anything like that? Yeah, I don't either. I'm on my third appeal, working on it. Hopefully it comes through eventually. Hmm.
Do you
I'm
have a
on
lawyer?
I'm on
Turkey, do you have a lawyer
Medicare.
for your
Do I have a
appeal?
lawyer? No. No. I think I should get
I've
one.
heard that that makes a really big difference, and that if they get um the appeal approved, then they back pay you all the way from the very first initial date that
Yeah.
you had applied. So you would get like a lump payment for however long it's been that you've been trying to get on the disability payments. Um, so a percentage of that is usually what a lawyer um, would charge as their fee for their services. And like I've heard, the success rate with a lawyer is astronomically higher. So just just a thought. I'm recently considering starting that whole process myself to see how it goes. And so that's how I've asked around, and a few of the people that family members know are saying that, you know, um yeah, that's the way to do it.
I'm looking for another lawyer. Um, second, see. Um, I had something to say and I forgot what it was.
Sorry.
It's all right. It's not your fault. Uh,
About the disability, blah, blah, blah.
oh, I
To
totally
make
forgot what it
this
was.
I mean, if you're going, not to make this sound not to make this put a rush on this, but there are going to be more um what is it called? There's going to be a lot more paperwork added to it soon. All the Medicare and disability. So I mean, if you're going to do that, I mean, get started. I mean, hurry up. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Get started on that quick because there's going to be a lot more. Uh,
But bureaucracy
yeah,
or
right. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
yeah,
A lot more paperwork added soon. So hurry up.
yeah, yeah, will do.
Get started soon.
I got something new here. Says, do y'all get offended when someone who doesn't have epilepsy makes a seizure joke? It's a question because my friend made a seizure joke today and it rubbed me the wrong way. I want to talk to her, but I don't want to seem rude about it. It makes me very upset because she doesn't even have to deal with what comes with it. The question would be, do you guys get offended when someone makes a seizure joke? I wouldn't say I get offended,
Um,
but I don't like it.
I was just like a couple weeks ago, my sister brought my nephew over to have a sleepover And in the morning we went out to breakfast and he was kind of acting up for attention, and at one point he kind of faked a floppy fish seizure, trying to try to keep that to catch on, right? Who was it that started that in the
Right.
subreddit?
We got to
But
keep using that.
yeah, he was doing the whole like and like, so I wasn't offended per se. I mean, he's 7. Um, but I don't know. My sister was sitting right there next to him, and she just kind of, you know, said that's something, I don't know. She just kind of had him stop. She didn't even make the connection that that was the medical condition that his uncle right across the table from him is living with. She just said that's a medical condition, and we can't cure it and we don't make fun of it. Um, I don't know. And again, offense is not the right word, but I kind of feel like that whole thing really, I don't know. Maybe I'm just Maybe I'm just trying to make the whole thing all about me and my epilepsy and all this and that, and should just let her raise her kid how she wants. But that kind of
Hurts a little.
that made me a little uncomfortable. So, yeah, that's really the only instance I've ever had somebody saying anything that seemed kind of a little not perfectly respectful.
Does jokes bother you guys?
Nah.
I mean,
No,
Go ahead.
No, I take it as a compliment per se.
Does it
It
depend on
doesn't,
who it is, or it's just you take it from anybody?
I don't give a fuck about someone else's op- someone else's opinion
Right.
about my
Especially if I don't
body
know them.
anymore.
Gotcha.
like jokes on TV, or I mean, if it's a well-crafted joke, I think it's good. Yeah, go ahead.
There, I
What
don't know.
about someone in person? Because I think that's what this person was getting at, their friend.
Oh, I don't think I've ever met someone who's made a joke to me, but no, I don't think I'd care.
I think a lot of times humor is a tool that people use to diffuse and kind of deflect nervous energy. And the jokes might be just as much about helping the person kind of deal with
Coping.
their thoughts and their, I mean, the people around us are living with epilepsy too, just by virtue of being aware that, any one of us could have a seizure at any moment, and they can't necessarily ever 100% let their guard down. Um, and that can be distressing for some people, especially close family members. Um, so, a little bit of dark humor from, you know, close family, I think is great. But even from strangers, something a bit more respectful, not quite as dark and morbid, but still, I think that that's probably more of a commentary on them than it is on me. Um, so I take it that way. It's not really about me. It's about
Reflection.
their
Their
experience
reflection.
with epilepsy.
Actually, come to think of it, I did come across one person who knew I had epilepsy. I don't want to get into it, but it wasn't a joke. It was a vicious attack on me, and it was just a vicious insult right to my face, and it was meant as just mean. Yeah, it wasn't a joke or anything. It was just a horrible attack at me.
You make me want to
And
ask for context.
uh, context, I don't want to get into it too much. This
Understandable.
per this
Uh,
person was not. Uh, we were at we were not at good terms at the time, and this person did this a lot at the time. And yeah, so uh, it kind of almost came to fisticuffs, let's say. So this was not like a friendly joke. Kind of like called me like a effing retard and such. This was not friendly. This was not anything good. Or this was like a person. Uh, this is a person I knew, but just uh, uh, let's just say in my close circle. But
Mm.
did the relationship change?
over time, he got better, but we're not. I'm not on
Depends, of
speaking
course.
terms with this person anymore. Yeah, but he got his head's fixed up better. Yeah, but I mean, how did I respond to that? If a person viciously attacks you like that with words, I did not respond well to that. Um, yeah, this was meant as a vicious attack with words. This was not a joke. Um, yeah,
Gloves on.
yeah, but um, you know, I did not respond well at the time. I
Oh
was
yeah,
like, yeah,
I definitely
yeah.
understand that. Um,
If someone were to call me a fucking retard,
Yeah.
I would take it as a compliment.
Oh,
I'm not sure I can do that.
well, this is a
Because
gender thing.
uh,
I don't know.
people respond as uh, have you heard of the mirror theory?
What did you
Heard of
say?
a lot of theories.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
People uh, watch themselves through you.
He wasn't doing this. He wanted something, and the only way he could do this was through violence and provocation. He was not doing that. He was not mirroring. He was not doing anything. He needed to get something, and
He got it.
yeah, oh, he got it. Yeah,
Hmm.
he
I'm
needed
sorry. I'm
to.
laughing.
Yeah, he needed to rile up the family, and he got what he needed to get, and yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I understand you don't want to go forward. That was
sorry.
very interesting.
I'll just tell everyone. I don't want to tell. I don't want to tell the world, but I'll tell y'all down here.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.